What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Coast to Coast Sports. As always, to the left of me, you got my boy John, and always behind the scenes, you got the boy Ryan. I am your host, Harrison. Will could not be with us again this week. That is okay. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. But John, you got anything to say to people before we get it started?
I actually have a question. Ryan, are you okay?
Yeah, Ryan.
I bumped my elbow.
Ryan,
as soon as I hit record.
Ryan smashed his elbow. Let's not go with a sly bump. He crushed it. But John, is that what you got to say to people? Is Ryan okay?
Well, I wanted to make sure Ryan's okay. You know, he does a lot behind the scenes. I want to make sure this is a good episode.
And before we continue, John, give us our baseball team update. Since last time we recorded an episode, we've played 2 games. So give them an update. We said we'd let them know as the season went on. Give them an update.
Oh, we did say that, unfortunately. So think of it as we are a AA baseball team. We are
That's generous.
Pensacola Blue Wahoos.
Okay.
And we are playing the Boston Red Sox every week. It's not like we're playing some outstanding team. We're playing a good team.
Yeah.
Not some outstanding team. And we are the Pensacola Blue Wahoos.
So we lost again.
Yeah,
2 back-to-back, Saturday and today. Had a game today. That's why John's wearing his coach's shirt. This ship rocks.
Go Clips.
Unfortunately, our ship does not rock. Does quite literally the opposite. It sinks. We lost on Saturday. Lost today. Next game's next Saturday. Hopefully we come back with some better news. But, she's looking bleak. Ryan, you got anything to say to people before we get started?
Not really, but shout out sponsors.
Shout out to sponsors. I'll get to those. Where are they at? Bottom?
Bottom, your right hand. Down.
Yeah, down. Right there. So shout out our sponsors. As always, we appreciate you. Will couldn't be here, so I have the quote of the week again. And the quote is, "A loss isn't a loss. It's a lesson. Appreciate the pain because it's a blessing."
It's a good way to take it.
It's a good way to take it. Did we lose today, John?
Yes, we did.
We did. We got crushed.
Yes.
Is it a loss? 100%. Is it a lesson? 1,000%. Is it a blessing? Fuck no.
If you don't take it as a lesson, you lose twice.
Yes, you lose twice. And if you do that, you might lose thrice. I just wanted to say the word thrice, but that is what it is. Let's get right into it. I've got nothing to say other than welcome. We talked a little bit of baseball last week. You and I were shooting the shit. We were talking MVP of who's the MVP right now, or who do we think it should be, who's impressed us most, what team's power rankings, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of jazz, that could have been a good segue. But we're starting with the AL. I could have done a Jazz Chisholm reference there, but that's all right. We're starting with the AL. Starters for the All-Star game have officially been released. For those that don't know, that's on the screen, correct? All right, so there's the list.
Nice little picture of Aaron Judge.
There's a nice little picture in front of you for our listeners on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, check out our YouTube. You get more visuals. And if you're listening and watching us on YouTube, check us out on Spotify. And, it's way cooler to listen to us in the car on Spotify. The starters are 2 Blue Jays back-to-back center and for catcher and first baseman. Vladdy and Alejandro Kirk being the catcher. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. being your first baseman. Second baseman, hometown favorite for me at least, Jose Altuve. Third baseman, Rafael Devers for the Red Sox. Shortstop is Tim Anderson for the White Sox. Outfield's Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees. Other outfielder, Mike Trout for the Angels. Other outfielder, Aaron Judge for the Yankees. And then our DH is Shohei Ohtani. First off, first things first, initial reaction, John. What do you like? What do you don't like? What are you taking away from this?
Well, my initial reaction to this is my boy, my man, Jose Ramirez getting snubbed from the starting lineup of the American League. Now, Rafael Devers, amazing third baseman. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I just love my man Jose. I root for him. He took a hometown discount to stay in Cleveland. You want to see him get recognized. And he still does get recognized quite a bit. But it's tough to see him.
Yeah, he was leading the league. He was leading the AL league in RBIs for like the first 3 months of the season.
Doubles and triples.
So everything. Yeah. So yeah, he definitely deserves it. I personally would rather have seen him play shortstop than Tim Anderson. I know it's a secondary position, so I don't know if you really count that, but
I'm cool with Tim Anderson getting the nod.
I like Tim Anderson too, and Tim Anderson's gross, but Rafael Devers and Jose Ramirez are both better than Tim Anderson. at their respective positions.
Fair. I agree. Agreed.
And I love this is a Tim Anderson friendly podcast. We like Timmy Anderson's. He's the guy. I like him a lot. So that was going to be one of my initial reactions too. I feel like Jose Ramirez not getting enough love continues to kind of just trickle through the cracks. It just is what it is. He doesn't play on a big market team. One of my biggest takeaways too for this is you obviously have your two big markets, right? Your Red Sox and your Yankees. Okay, that's fine. All those guys are kind of deserving. I don't think Giancarlo is, but I think Kyle Tucker should be there. Maybe George Springer, maybe somebody else as well. But I really don't think Giancarlo Stanton should be there, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that you have, these quote unquote two unicorns of baseball also representing. Whether they've had a good season or not, the fan voting, I think, is an issue because Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, like Mike Trout's gross. Nobody's denying how good he is and how good his career is, but should he have been a starter this year? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Same thing with Shohei. Like Shohei if you want to say Shohei as an overall round player, should he be a starter? Yeah, because he's doing things people aren't doing. He's breaking 100-year records. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But as a DH, Yordan Alvarez is literally beating him in every statistical category that matters. OPS, batting average, slugging, WAR, like everything. And the fact that Shohei got it just because he is like now the new face of baseball. He's one of them. For sure, his international prowess, of course, is a huge factor in that. But the fact that he got it over Yordan makes zero sense.
And I have to agree with you. This isn't just you being a hometown cooker.
Yeah, with being the Astros fan, obviously, for those that don't know.
Yeah, but you are correct. I mean, Alvarez has had an amazing season so far. He's been huge for the Astros. He's really stepped up after they lost some guys in the offseason. Yeah. And the Astros really haven't missed a beat, and he's one of the reasons why. Now, I will say, with Mike Trout at least, I think the one that sticks out to me the most is Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
I don't think he really deserved to get
definitely not
a starting role in the
and that's why I brought that up. You have these two huge fan bases in the Red Sox and the Yankees. I think personally that's why Rafael Devers got it over Jose Ramirez and Giancarlo and Aaron Judge. Now Aaron Judge definitely deserves it. He's one of the best players in baseball right now.
He's earned it. Yeah.
He's crushing and he's doing great. And he's also doing very well for defensive. He's got a lot of defensive run saves this year. So he's fine. But the fact that Giancarlo Stanton plays for the biggest fan base probably in baseball, that's probably his big bet.
It is, yeah.
And the Yankees, I think, is definitely an advantage over, like I said, I think Kyle Tucker should be there, maybe George Springer as well. And you could probably make a case for, a few other. Byron Buxton, like he's disgusting for the Twins. And he's had actually a phenomenal year too. And even the biggest person I think that, and we'll get to, because he's a reserve spot, and I think a lot of the reason he's not getting love is because he's a rookie. Julio Rodriguez is absolutely raking. And he is playing so well. So
and
I just feel like that's it.
And I think your former Astro, George Springer, too. Yeah. I think he's had a better season so far than
Giancarlo
as well.
So I think that's just a few of the initial things that jump out at me of just what my biggest takeaways are. But let's move to the NL.
We'll move to the NL.
See what we got here. Ryan, tell me whenever you get the NL graphic up. So as the NL graphic gets brought up, we have our catcher, Wilson Contreras for the Cubs, Paul Goldschmidt, first baseman for the Cardinals, Jazz Chisholm, second baseman for the Marlins, Manny Machado at the other hot corner, third base for the Padres, Trey Turner at shortstop for the Dodgers, outfield, Jock Peterson for the Giants, Ronald Acuna for the Braves, Mookie Betts for the Dodgers, and DH is Bryce Harper for the Phils. Any initial reactions right out the gate? What do we like? What do we don't like? John, I'll kick it to you first.
So my initial reaction with this, I looked at the third base position. Going into the season, we had a huge debate on third base.
Actually, we did. Yeah, it was like, who do we think's the best third baseman not in the NL and the AL, right?
We did. And I'm sticking with my guy. I think Nolan Arenado is the better third baseman. Mm-hmm. I do like that there's not multiple Cardinals in the starting lineup, but I think
Reds fan here, by the way. Reds fan.
That doesn't matter. I think Nolan Arenado's better than Manny Machado. Besides that, I mean, I think this is a pretty solid lineup. Nobody I really oppose too much. Because even Manny Machado, I think he's still good enough to where it's like, okay, I'm not going to get upset over this.
Yeah.
Maybe Jock Peterson's the one that really stands out, but Everyone else kind of deserves it. Tyler Stevenson would be the starter if he played the entire time, but he didn't. So
Hey, injuries happen. It is.
yeah, no bias. But
Now, John, I think you're severely overlooking something.
what am I overlooking?
And
Oh,
maybe
I'm
I'll rock
looking
your
at-
world. No, hold on, hold on.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
I'll rock your world here. The biggest thing that is surprising to me is the team that currently has the best record in all of the NL has no starters in the NL starters. That to me is a shocker. I'm not saying, Pete Alonso should be definitely starting. I'm not saying Jeff McNeil or, Starling Marte or, fuck it, we'll even throw Francisco Lindor in there. I'm not saying that those guys should be definite 100% starters. But the fact that they have the best record in their respective whole division and you have 0 starters representing your team is just a little bit surprising. And we're going to talk about the fan voting later, so we'll tap into that. But I just feel like, to me, that might be the biggest thing that jumps out at me because Jazz Chisholm, gross. Very good, underrated, love him. Marlins are not as good as the Mets. Okay, let's go first base. Paul Goldschmidt, disgusting, having a great year, arguably going to be MVP of the NL. Do I think Pete Alonso should start over him? No. But definitely should get at least some respect. And then we go Starling Marte, outfield. Starling Marte, is he having a better year than Jock, Ronald, or Mookie? Statistically speaking, probably not. They're probably much closer. But to not give a single starter from the team that has the best record in your division just surprises me. Especially when you look at the Yankees, who have the best record in the AL and all of baseball, have 2 starters. And you kind of flip that to the script to the other side. That's the biggest thing I think that's jumping out to me. And the second big thing is the fact that, let me pull up my ballot. And let me, this is to me often what I would consider the correct picking.
Oh, yes.
The fact that Trey Turner and or Mookie Betts potentially got starting, or Jock even, got starting both positions over Dansby Swanson, who's having a career year for the Braves and is playing absolutely out of his mind. And it was a close race between Trey but Trey's great. He's good. He's a 5-star. But Dansby Swanson's doing things this year for the Braves that are very going under the radar, very, very low key. And he should have been a starter. That's the one thing I've got. And I think Manny Machado definitely deserves to be a starter. I love Nolan Arenado. I think he's a better defensive third baseman for sure. But offensively, Manny's having a better year, statistically speaking. But another person that I want to shed a little bit of light on that I feel like got not necessarily snubbed, but definitely I feel like wasn't in the discussion, was the late oncoming of our good friend Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber in the month of June is literally a cheat code. He had 16 home runs, I think, in the month of June. That's insane. And I know that doesn't necessarily make up for, everything, but I feel like that's definitely something that should be brought to the attention of said people. And I don't know if you agree, disagree, or whatnot, but
I'm just biased against Kyle Schwarber. I don't like the guy. I don't think he likes me.
Hey, he might not. Kyle Schwarber, known John hater.
He's a known John hater. I mean, that's his home run numbers. I mean, that's what gave him the home run derby nod.
Yes.
He will be in the home run derbies.
Which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But go on.
But, I mean, he has been amazing for the Phillies. The Phillies have been red hot here recently. Had a huge series win over the Cardinals. I think they swept them. Huge in the NL wildcard race. And the Phillies have been amazing since they got rid of good old Joe. So, Phillies are hot.
Phillies are hot. We kind of buy into the Phillies right now. They're not too far back, but
yeah, they're only like a handful of games behind the Mets. Like, they could win the division, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and the Braves also are sneaking there too. So I think they're playing their series right now, and I believe the Mets took game 1. So that does help them. That helps. That helps with the Phillies a little bit too there. But let's move to the All-Star reserves. Want to do AL or NL first?
We'll do AL.
We'll do AL. Okay, we'll do AL first. The reserves rounding it out in their position: Yordan Alvarez, DH, Houston; Luis Arias, first baseman, Twins; Andrew Benintendi, outfield, Kansas City; Xander Bogaerts, shortstop, Boston; Byron Buxton, outfield, Twins; Miguel Cabrera, not just because he's retiring, not because he's actually been great. He's not been like the worst first baseman in the league, but he's definitely not been the best.
For sure.
First baseman, Tigers. Andres Jimenez, second baseman, Guardians. Jose Ramirez, third baseman, Guardians. Julio Rodriguez, outfield, Seattle. George Springer, outfield, Blue Jays. Jose Trevino, catcher, Yanks. And then Kyle Tucker, outfield, Houston. Do we think there are some snubs that should have made this All-Star reserves list? Or do we think that there was a team of people that... Do you think they got it right, wrong, snub, no snub? Who are we overlooking, or who do we think should not be on this list?
I'm genuinely confused.
What are you confused about, Dad?
I'm not seeing a Ty France on there.
You're not seeing Ty France?
Why is he not on there?
I think that's a good question.
Because he got snubbed.
Because he got snubbed. That's my whole point. I think Vladdy's great, and he's having a good year. But Ty France, the fact that motherfucker's not an all-star is insane.
Like, and you can, like, even Luis Reyes.
Reyes.
Like,
having a good year. Nobody's taking that away from him.
Yeah.
But the fact that Ty France is on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's on his fantasy team, guys.
Ty France is fucking hard for my fantasy team. That's all I'm saying.
And I don't see him on there. Like,
crime.
Like, we already have a Twins representative in Byron Buxton. Like, why do we... And I know the Mariners have Julio Rodriguez, but Ty France is one of the best first basemen in baseball right now, and he's just not on the All-Star team.
Getting absolute zero love.
Maybe blame Miggy. Hashtag blame Miggy.
Hashtag all my homies blame Miguel Cabrera. That's quite literally all I have to say.
Terrible that Ty France is not on there. Absolute snub.
No doubt about it, and I agree wholeheartedly. And that was honestly the biggest thing that I was going to bring up. I know that every team, for those that don't know, every team has to be represented on the All-Star team. So if the team has one win, 81 games in the season, and that's when the All-Star game is, that team's getting one All-Star, just because that is what it is. And we'll talk about whether we like that, whether we don't. But the fact that Ty France, that was the biggest thing I was going to bring up. I don't like the fact that I feel like he's getting snubbed and he's getting kind of shafted. One thing that I really do like, though, is Andres Jimenez getting the nod from Cleveland. That dude is young. He's like a child. Same thing with Julio Rodriguez, child, and they're playing very well for their respective teams. That is one thing that I really like. And another thing that I think is a good indicator, or should at least be brought up for respective reasons, is I like the small market representation kind of here. Andrew Benintendi for Kansas City, great pick. He's solid. Whether we like him or not, Luis Reyes for the Twins, small market. But we think Ty France, also smaller market.
Ty France is
Julio Rodriguez, smaller market. Jose, Andreas, Cleveland, small market. Tigers, small market. We're not seeing these huge boosts in these big market teams with these guys. So I like the fact that there is some small market representation here. You only have two big name teams in Bogarts and Jose Trevino with the Boston and Yankees. So I like that fact. But these are the people that are voted on by their peers. I believe that is how the reserves are picked.
Okay.
They're not picked by, writers or anything. It's by the people people on MLB teams that think like, oh, we think this guy really is good. He should make an all-star team. So that's one thing that I did like. I think that they got it right for the most part. I think Ty France definitely deserves some more love. And he didn't, but it is what it is.
Glad we're on the same page.
Glad we're on the same page there. Let's go to the pitchers. Paul Blackburn for the A's. Emmanuel Clase for the Guardians. Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Clay Holmes, all for the Yankees. Jorge Lopez for the Orioles. Alek Mahano for the Blue Jays. Shane McClann for, he's probably going to be AL Cy Young for the Rays. Shohei for the Angels. Martin Perez for the Rangers. Gregory Soto for the Tigers. Then you have Framber Valdez and Justin Verlander rounding out the Astros as well. So anything that's sticking out to us right now, what do we like, what do we don't like? John, spit your facts and talk your shit.
I can't really think of anybody that's really snubbed off the top of my head here.
Well, that's good, because I got somebody.
You got somebody? I mean, I'm looking at it. This just looks like this is where the AL made up for some of the teams not getting represented. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the A's, Orioles, even the Rays. Did the Rays have anybody else? Is that their only representative?
Yes, I believe so.
This is
because Randy's not having a great year. Wander's not having a great year.
And they got nobody starting?
They got nobody starting.
Okay. Then, yeah, so I guess that was their one All-Star. That's weird. Rangers, that's their one All-Star. Like, this is just where they made up
fillers.
The fillers for all the teams. And so that the reserves and the starters can be a little better. So I'm under the rules that they created.
You're
That's-
fine with it.
It's fine.
The one problem I have, and I personally would take Gregory Soto away,
Okay.
because there already is a Detroit
There
representative.
it is. Yeah, you got Miggy.
Or even take maybe the Blue Jays guy away, or take Clay Holmes away. Clay Holmes having a great year, can't take it away from him. But maybe take the Blue Jays guy. Take Shohei away, personally. I don't give a fuck. He's already representing the DH, and you already took that from Jordan, who's more deserving, and we're agreeing that.
Well,
He's a great pitcher. He's having a great pitcher.
Does he count like as twice? I think they only counted him once.
Regardless, even if he is or he
Okay,
isn't,
fair.
still get him out. I'll get him off the list. But the fact that Ryan Stanek is not an All-Star is very surprising. He has a .63 ERA. He is what we call the oh shit pitcher. And John, do you know what I mean when I say the oh shit pitcher?
What's the oh shit pitcher?
The oh shit pitcher is when you're sitting there as a manager and you're in a situation and you go, oh shit, we have an issue. You say, I'm going to bring in Ryan Stanek. He's pitched in 23 appearances plus and in high leverage situations as well and has a .63 ERA. To me, that is deserving of an all-star, bar none. And I just feel like he should have definitely been some form of representation. And I'm not even saying necessarily he should have gotten it, because he's an Astro. I just think that he's doing something that's really, really impressive, and it's not getting enough love. That's all.
Okay.
But other than that, I agree with you with the representation aspect of it. You got to get some of these people in. I was thinking maybe Cedric Mullins might get a nod for the Orioles. Definitely not Adley. He's not done enough.
No, not this year.
For the A's, I was thinking maybe Frankie Montas, maybe Sean Murphy as a catcher. I don't know. But
They've been a shit show.
yeah, they're just not good.
They deserve no one, but if they need one person.
It is what it is. Moving to the NL reserves, and we are flashing forward here. Starting pitchers. We'll do the normal
Yeah,
reserves
we'll
first.
do what we were doing.
First base, Pete Alonso for the Mets. Nolan Arenado, third baseman for the Cards. Willem Contreras, DH for the Braves. C.J. Cron, first baseman for the Rockies. Travis d'Arnaud, catcher for the Braves. Ian Happ, outfield for the Cubs. Starling Marte, outfield, Mets. Jeff McNeil, second base, Mets. Albert Pujols, DH, Cards. Kyle Schwarber, outfield, Phils. Juan Soto, outfield, Nationals. Dansby Swanson, shortstop, Braves. Who do we like? Who do we don't like? What's jumping out? Talk to me, John.
I think this is honestly a pretty solid list. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think all these guys have pretty much had a good season. I know some, talking some home cooking here, some Reds fans were upset that Brandon Drury missed the All-Star cut as a Reds representative. If they needed one, I thought he was the guy most deserving on the Reds. But all these guys are better than Drury, even with the season he's had so far.
Even better than Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm just making sure. I just don't want to,
Yeah, no, he's had a great season. Hunter Green's kind of fallen off here a little bit. Not doing good for my
fantasy or your NL rookie.
I have him. I put $15 on him to win NL Rookie of the Year. It'd win me like $600 some bucks. So.
Hey, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope all things good and gracious that hits for you.
Thank you.
I truly do.
If he hits enough 100-mile-per-hour fastballs in a game, maybe they'll just give it to him. So that's kind of what I'm rooting for right now.
I think honestly that's a fair.
He has a no-hitter this year.
I think that's
Not officially.
Not an unofficial official no-hitter.
He did not allow a hit in a game and pitched the entirety of the defensive innings.
Right. Okay. Well, hey, as long as you know. But I think you're kind of right too. I think there was a very good pool, a very good pool of people here. The one thing that does jump out for me is, as I mentioned before, the best record in the NL and has 0 starters. They kind of make up for it here. They got three of them on the reserves. Whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, that's fine. But the thing that is somewhat of an interesting pick for me, I guess, was the C.J. Cron or the Charlie Blackmon, because those are about the only two bright spots for the Rockies. I figured it'd be Chris Bryant would be a bright spot, but he hasn't done shit.
Not this year, now.
CJ Crum, gross.
Yeah,
so
no, I love
let's
CJ
let's not get twisted or anything. But I thought it was a very interesting, takeaway is when you look at all the caliber players that the Cardinals had last year with Gold Gloves and how good they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tommy Edman not getting a nod here might be kind of egregious. I don't know who necessarily you take out of there. Do you take out Kyle Schwarber? Do you take out Juan Soto? Because to me, Juan Soto's having not a good year.
Yeah, is he the only Nationals representative though?
Yes, I believe. Let me double check.
They didn't have any starters, and I don't think they had any pitchers.
Yes,
so he's just a Nationals representative,
and that's fine. Keep him as a Nationals representative as is, but I think Tommy Edman's definitely having a better year than him, and we're going to get to that whole debate. But to me, I don't even know if I would put him as my national representative. I think Josh Bell's having a much better year than Juan Soto is.
I agree.
So I think that is an interesting take, and I don't know. I think it is interesting, and also same with Brian Reynolds. I feel like Brian Reynolds should have got a nod instead of David Bender for the Pirates as a pitcher. I don't know. I'm not tapped into all the other GMs and other people, but I think Brian Reynolds is criminally underrated. I hope he gets traded soon to a team that can contend, because the team that will take him. Because as an Astros fan, I would take Brian Reynolds in several heartbeats.
Yeah,
I would send 2 of our prospect guys to the Pirates and some cash and see if we could get Brian Reynolds, because I would take him and he'd be so good.
he's really good.
But moving to the pitcher aspect, we got Sandy, who's probably going to win NL Cy Young this year. He's got like 3 complete games, just absolutely fucking going crazy. David Bender for the Pirates, Corbin Burns, obviously gross for the Brew Crew, Luis Castillo for the Reds, Edwin Diaz for the Mets, Max Fried as a Brave, Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers, Josh Hader for the Brewers, Ryan Hesley for the Cardinals, Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, Joe Manaplay for the D-backs, and Joe Musgrove for the Padres. What jumps out to you, John? Talk to me.
Maybe this is just my ignorance about the Dodgers. I think I might have some with them. I don't watch them too often. But is Walker Buehler? Is he not having? He's injured. Oh, okay.
He's injured.
He was who I was.
But yes, he's disgustingly good.
Yeah, because I was like, why is he not there? And there's 2 Dodgers there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm not really. Dude, I'm bad with pitchers. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, when they're fillers, it's hard.
Yeah, because and a lot of these guys are fillers. Like the Pirates don't have anybody else.
Reds,
Diamondbacks. Like these are all filler guys, and
Brewers don't have anybody other than pitchers.
Do they really?
Yeah, I mean they don't have.
Well, Corbin Burns and Josh Hader are beasts anyway.
Yeah, no, they're discussing. I'm just saying, like, who else would you pick? Willie Adames, maybe Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah, you're right.
Yelich is not himself anymore. Maybe who's their center fielder? Is that Jackie Bradley, or is he
Jackie
back
Bradley
with
Jr.
Is he back with so regardless, or is he back with the Red Sox?
I thought he was on the Brewers still.
Okay, well, either way, it's just like you're not having. You have to pick a pitcher. Yeah. You have to pick their pitchers. The big thing that is standing out for me is the fact that Joe Musgrove is the only Padres representative. Yeah. And the Padres are no scrubs. They're
fighting with the Dodgers this year.
Fighting with the Dodgers.
Pesky.
The fact that he is the only representative for the Padres is astounding to me. Mm-hmm. Now, once again, you got to take away from somebody else.
Or well, no, they got Manny Machado.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so fucking right. But but that is still the case, though.
Even with the two,
that is still it. But yes, Manny Machado, I did forget about him. So I rescind my comment. But Joe Musgrove being gross. But other than that, I mean, I feel like the pitching staff is pretty solid. I think Carlos Rendon for the Giants not getting picked is kind of a huge snub. Maybe take Tony away. Maybe take maybe one of the Brew Crew people away. I don't know. But getting back to a more transitioning from that All-Star, what we were talking about, All-Star break, let's transition to the question I have to propose for you, sir.
Yes.
And I think I know what your answer is, but let's just do it anyway. The fan voting has to go.
It has to.
It has to go, right?
Yeah, and I don't even think the media should get a vote. I think it should just be all the players, let's gather them around and be like, hey, you can't vote for your team, but like, who's the best guys you're playing?
Yeah.
Because nobody, even if there's like bad blood between like 2 guys. I think if the other guy's good enough, they'll be like, yeah, dude, he still deserves it. Like, I think you just do a player vote. I think it should be all player vote. That's just my opinion.
I agree too, because I think the NFL does it like that.
Yeah.
For half of it or something like that. That is half the criteria. I think it should always be player voting because to me the players really know. I think if you polled the NBA and you said who's one of the hardest people to get, who's one of the person that you know is going to get you a bucket no matter what, a lot of people would say Paul George, but a lot of people don't give Paul George credit, like media people, or people like us that just sit on podcasts and talk shit, right? That's just how it is. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. They have to get rid of the fan voting. I don't think it makes sense to do it at this point. I think you should have the players do before a game, they fill out a ballot. I don't know what players you select because you're going to have a lot of bench guys voting / your swing guys. Like, do you have somebody that's getting called up to the AAA for a series? Did he get a vote and then you get him cut back down? Or do you have your manager pick your 5 players that have played the most games of the season?
You can go 40-man roster.
Yeah,
everybody on your
40-man roster, and that's fine too. Whatever the criteria is, I'm more personally swaying towards you take the top 6 guys, take the top 5 guys, so just over 50%, because there's 9 guys in the field. Take 5 guys that have played the most games in the field. So whoever that is, let's just say the Astros, for example. You go, okay, it's Martin Maldonado, Jose Altuve, Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez, and Alex Bregman, right? And then you take 2 pitchers that have pitched whatever 2 pitchers you want, because that's typically just a normal rotation. It's not, Dusty will be like, okay, your 2 veteran pitchers or just 2 pitchers in general, whoever you fucking think deserves the vote, or you make that a team clubhouse pick. Mm-hmm. So you get 7 people from your team, and they all pick who's the guys that we think are the best. Because then your hitters are going to give graded answers for the people that are pitching. Like, dude, I can't hit his shit, period. And then also you get B for your own respective leagues, obviously. I don't think an AL team should not be voting on AL people. So
I was going to bring
let me bring that up. I don't know if that was very clear or not. But I think that should be at least a step in the right direction of how voting should be done. I'm tired of fan voting because Fernando Tatis was like 4th in voting. He hadn't even played a game this year.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Ronald Acuna being a starting outfielder for the NL this year, which is one thing that kind of jumps out, and he's missed a ton of games because he had his ACL injury. And I'm not shit. And first of all, Ronald Acuna is still a dog, but the fact that he's a starter is insane.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We don't get those votes. Do you get a vote?
I wish.
I didn't get a vote.
I wish I was the only vote.
I wish I was the only vote too. Maybe we would have Ryan vote too. What do you think, Ryan? You want to vote?
Yeah.
Nah, he just voted Yankees.
Ryan vote.
He just voted the Yankees.
Dunk the vote. Key and Peele skit.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that was the whole thing, and they're like, "What happens if you get a bunch of people together and commit voter fraud?" And you're like, "What? What? Wait, what?" And it was a whole thing. It's pretty fun. You should give it a look. Let's transition to the next part of the All-Star break. We got the Home Run Derby. Classic All-Star event. Everybody loves it. Everybody roots for it. I have lost money on it every single year. So we will be doing a contest with our own podcast, with just us 4 here, with Will included, on who's going to pick these people. We're going to throw a little bit of money on it. No big deal. But right now, what's rounding out the 5 people that have been picked or have come out and have said they're going to do it: Ronald Acuna, Albert Pujols, Kyle Schwarber, Juan Soto, and then for some unknown reason, Albert Pujols. Why the fuck is Albert Pujols doing the Home Run Derby? John, what is going on right now?
I love it. Like if you're...
I hope he wins. I hope he wins. You just lost to a 50-year-old man swinging a bat.
If you're going to force Miguel and Albert Pujols on us,
right?
Just give us all the shits and giggles. I'm all for...
Put Miguel in a skills challenge. I don't even know if they do a skill challenge, but make one. Put him in it.
And Albert Pujols is not going to win, especially in the new rules where it's time-based and not out-based. There's no way this dude's going to be swinging the bat fast enough and getting ready for the next pitch enough to do that in the time-based event. Mm-hmm. Which, that's another take I have.
He gets one timeout.
Oh, yeah, you get one timeout. No, I hate the timed Home Run Derby. I wish I missed the days when it was the outs. It was more of a...
Was it 9 outs?
It was 10 outs, I think.
10 outs? Okay.
Maybe it was 9 outs. I could be wrong there. But it was like 10 outs. All swings and foul balls were outs, and anything obviously that wasn't a home run in play.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So,
I don't hate that. I like the time one in the sense that I feel like you see consistently more home runs. Like I know there were some years where like when it was the outs, when it was back to the outs, it'd be like one guy got like 2 home runs because he couldn't do something. Like it wasn't his night, right? And I was just like, that's kind of fucking like typically a lot of the reason people stop or are having bad is because the pitcher's doing bad, whoever it is. Some people try to be cute and have like their dad come out and be their BP coach, which I believe Sean Murphy did that a few years ago.
Once the year Scott Rowland won in Cincinnati, he did that.
Yeah, like it's cute and all, but sometimes it's more detrimental than it is helpful. But I just thought that would be a fun thing to bring up. Out of these 5 right now, we don't have the other 3 contestants. Who do you think's walking away with it? Do you think 3 Pete's, or do you think Ronald Acuna, Juan Soto, Albert Pujols, or Kyle Schwarber for right now out of those 5?
I meant Todd Frazier,
Todd Frazier.
not Scott Rowland.
Todd Frazier.
So who out of these 5?
So far, who do you think? Who do you think's gonna win?
My gut reaction was Juan Soto, and you heard me.
He
say
hits
that.
absolute nukes.
He hits nukes, but all these guys do, except for Albert.
Where is it? Dodger Stadium?
It's in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, that doesn't favor necessarily anybody,
I don't
right?
think it
Because
does.
that's pretty normal dimensions.
I have a bias against Kyle Schwarber, so I'm not going to pick him.
Definitely not.
I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to say Juan Soto. I'm like, I know. Here, I'll let you go.
All right. I'm going to pick Pete. Do I think
I knew
Pete
that's
3
where you're
Pete's? Yes, because I like the way that sounds. Pete 3 Pete's. That's one reason I'm picking him too. I also just think he's got the home run like derby thing figured out. I think it's more skill of like how to swing, how hard to swing, knowing your pace and all that stuff is more of the challenge than it is just absolutely taking daddy hacks and trying to hit the ball.
It's a stamina contest now.
Yes, so I think you should definitely be picking somebody that's a little bit thicker, has a little more muscle, a little more stamina on him, i.e. Kyle Schwarber, Pete Alonso. I don't think Albert Pujols is the answer. But I definitely think Ronald can hit nukes, no doubt. Juan Soto can hit nukes, no doubt. But they're outfielders, they're slimmer guys. They're not as built, bigger. So I feel like the stamina aspect's going to come, when you're in your 2 minute towards the end. I think the guys that are bigger, that are a little bit more muscular, a little more meat on them, i.e. Kyle, Pete, are going to be the favorites here. So I'm going to stick Pete with the 3 Pete just because I like the way that sounds.
Okay.
Moving on to the next bit of baseball.
Is anybody in the AL said there?
Nobody in the AL yet.
Okay.
I figured Jordan was going to be one of them,
Maybe.
but he got sidelined with a hand injury, so he's no longer going to do that. So he's been sidelined for a little bit. But we talked about it on Twitter.
Yes.
Right? We brought it up. Made it a poll. Not poll, made it an interaction. Rob Manfred. And I don't think we talked about this last week, did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Robbie Mans, Daddy Manfred, was talking about wanting to get to the MLB to 32 cities. 32 teams.
32 teams.
Which means 32 cities. There's 30 teams in the MLB. Count them up. What 2 teams, what 2 cities, what 2 locations do you think should get a team, and why? Give me one, I'll give you one. You give me your other one, I'll give you another.
Well, I would like to say, first off, if it were up to me, we'd go back to 16 teams, 8 in each league. We'd go to the OGs.
Oh my God, like the Philadelphia A's.
No,
and,
well, they can stay in the cities they are in now.
Oh,
just
okay.
those teams.
Okay.
Shoot, who do I want first?
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah,
I can go first.
I'll
Okay.
concede.
I think one team that we should definitely have and should get a city, and it shouldn't even be hard. You know why?
What is it?
Because they already have a stadium there.
They do. I know. Yeah,
Who is it?
it'd be Nashville.
No.
That's
they
not what you were
honestly-
saying?
No.
Oh, well, they do have a stadium. No, they have a stadium.
I want to bring back the Montreal Expos.
Oh yeah.
Bring back the Expos. It was a crime that they were taken away from us anyway. Their uniforms, fire.
Fire.
Players that played for them, fire.
Vladdy.
Vladdy Sr., he's not even like, I don't even think necessarily he's the best Expo. He's definitely up there, but he's not necessarily the best Expo.
That'd be Tom Brady.
He got drafted by the
He
Expos.
was
Yeah,
an Expo.
Tom Brady, most successful Expo.
Known
No
Expo.
doubt.
Known Expo.
They already have the bones of how to run it there. They have an idea that I think they should get one, and it's cool when you have another Canadian team I mean, NBA's got one Canadian team too, and it's just but most. I feel like NBA's only got one, NFL's got none, baseball's got one. I feel like it'd be time to maybe sneak another Canadian team in there. I think it'd be cool to definitely have one. I mean, baseball's only got the Blue Jays. Bring back in the Montreal Expos. They have the idea of how it should work, how to run, and I think that with the social media digital age, they definitely will have a following. Maybe you get back some of those national fans that, in case those don't know, Montreal Expos got not traded, but left, are now Nationals. So I think that's one team that definitely should get a look at the beginning of another city. So back to you, John.
Well,
and keep the Expos in the AL as well.
I disagree.
You send them to the AL?
Man, well, they were in the NL.
Well, I would keep them in the AL because Nationals are in the NL.
Well, yeah, but you would like the reason why like a lot of in-state teams are like once AL, once NL is so people can go to the games and you can see those teams because
so
the
Toronto's
AL,
AL, you want to get okay, fine. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. So I will rescind my statement.
People in Canada land can see all their NL teams
as well.
But
I will then rescind and say they can go to the NL.
That's my reasoning behind it. I mean, I said it before. I'll go with Nashville.
Okay.
I think they already have some project down there where they're building some district for a baseball park already, and I believe the park might already be built, if not going to be built.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they said the name was going to be the Nashville Stars if they do it. I think it was like an old Negro League team that they had back in the day. I think Nashville would be a good city. I think you need more Southern representation in Major League Baseball.
Because there's like none.
There's none. You got the Braves. The Florida teams are kind of secluded. And, I mean, nothing until out in Texas. So, I think you need more Southern representation, especially with how well college baseball does down there.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get another team down there. Because, like, in these summer months, there's not much down there. So, I think Nashville would be the best city for it in the South. They already kind of have stuff planned out already. So, I think I'm going to go with Nashville, and they can be in the AL. Doesn't really
I love that. I love that pick.
That way, because you got...
I'm actually going to go further south.
Oh, down south?
Down south.
I know where you're going.
Where am I going?
You're going Nolans.
I'm going Nolans, my guy. I think New Orleans would be a good pick to be a city. Obviously, it's a huge city. There's a lot going on there. Their sports teams are very successful. Pelicans, Saints. I think that if you maybe add a baseball team, and like you said, like think about this. Alabama, 0 professional sports teams. Like when I say it's Tide country down there, it is legitimate Tide country because that's all they have to root for.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to think.
I mean, they have like a AAA team. They have the Mud Hens or something. Or the team that Jordan played for. Michael Jordan, like when he played for the Chicago's AAA affiliate, that's located in Alabama. I don't necessarily count that as professional in the sense that it's like the highest level, but it is. They're getting paid. So, but outside of that, they don't have any.
Mobile, Alabama has a minor league team.
Like they don't, and that's not just Alabama. Like Mississippi has 0 professional sports teams.
They have the Mississippi Braves.
Right. So I think that New Orleans is good for location. For the fact that you could get some of that Alabama pool, you could get some of that Mississippi pool, you should get some of that,
even Tennessee,
Arkansas, Tennessee, any of that pool.
Memphis.
I think that definitely could get a pool of people down there.
Now, as an Astro fan, would you be worried that they take away some of your fan base and some dollars away from the Astros?
Astros are very OG.
Because isn't Louisiana kind of like Astro country a little bit?
I think yes, in that sense. I think that the Astros, they're an OG team, not necessarily like OG like Reds OG, but they've been around since like the 60s.
They're one of the first expansions.
They're one of the worst expansions, and they've had a ton of great players that have come through. They're current players now, but J.R. Richard, Nolan Ryan, Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, Lance Berkman. Like they have a lot of really good players that have come. Nelly Fox that have come through. Joe Morgan, Hunter Pence. Like I can go on.
Yeah.
And so they have their own little fan base, and they've got their own stake in baseball history.
Yeah.
Especially one being that they cheated. So that's not necessarily the best thing to be known for, but it is definitely something that'll be forever immortalized with the Houston
You're not
Astros.
cheating, you're not trying.
Right. So I think that New Orleans could definitely be a good grab.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I agree. That's actually, I think, where I was thinking. I was debating between another city, but that's one I was thinking about was Nolens.
What do you got for your next one?
Next one. So I think this team is more suited for a relocation city. But since we haven't mentioned them yet, you got to go Vegas.
They were going to be one of my next picks.
Yeah,
so.
I think Vegas. I mean, you've seen they had no professional sports teams 5 years ago, and now they're close to having one in all 4 leagues.
Basketball, WNBA, the Vegas
I
Aces.
guess, okay.
Hockey,
They got
Golden
the Golden
Knights.
Knights. They
Raiders.
got the Raiders, and now maybe the A's or whatever.
Maybe the Oakland's, flirting with going as well if they don't build them a new city. So
Yeah.
I think I personally think that the NBA could potentially get to 32.
I believe
Wow.
they were talking
LeBron
about-
said he wants to get a team in the NBA and he wants it to be in Vegas. So I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it, the idea of it either. So I think that's not necessarily the craziest thing, but I do like that pick.
Yeah, I think Vegas. I think that's kind of the next one up here in our list of things where we want. I think Vegas. It's a good travel market. You're gonna get a lot of opposing fans be like, "Oh, hey, why not go to Vegas?"
Go see a team.
My Cubbies are playing in town. Why not take a trip to Vegas? So
Right.
I think that's a good city to have a team, whether it's expansion or relocation. I think I kind of hope the A's move there just to stay with the Raiders,
Mhm.
just kind of have them intertwined a little bit. But I think Vegas would be my next choice.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Those are our 4 picks that we thought were like, I think that the New Orleans one would be like an interesting grab. The one thing that I'm kind of was flipping in between back and forth was maybe getting some representation in like those middle states. You have the Colorado Rockies, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that's literally it.
Yeah.
Kansas City Royals, like, they're there. But, I mean, like, Nebraska, you got nothing. North, South Dakota, nothing. You have the Twins in Minnesota. But Iowa,
I mean, they're big
nothing.
Cup. They're big Cup.
They're
in
Cup.
White Sox country.
Yeah, Cubs stuff. But I'm saying if you're going to drop a team somewhere, maybe Utah would be like another, like the 5th. I think New Orleans, Nashville, Montreal, and Vegas all have better pool, like of people to pull from. Obviously, Louisiana, you have all the southern states that are down there as well. Vegas, it's fucking Vegas. Why not, right? And then you look at Montreal. They already had a fan team there before. Bring them back. Hopefully some of their OG fans are still there. And then Nashville is just in kind of the heart of it all, right? I mean, they have everybody around them that could be in it. And every single state that touches it other than Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas have, I believe, professional sports teams. Arkansas has 0 professional sports teams.
0.
Alabama, 0. Mississippi, 0.
Georgia does.
Right? Georgia,
Carolina.
professional tournament.
Kentucky doesn't.
North Carolina, Kentucky,
Kentucky doesn't have like a
professional.
Like they have like minor league baseball, but not.
Okay, yeah. So maybe, yeah, even Kentucky too. So you have those pool of people that you could definitely pull from.
Mm.
I was thinking if you're gonna put a team, I think the best case in the middle states would be Utah. That'd be like your only bet.
Yeah, because
They have the Jazz, and I think that's it. They don't have a hockey team, do they?
No, it's just the Jazz. And Colorado does kind of block them off though. Like even if you put a team in Utah, like maybe you get the Idaho and Wyoming people, but that's really it. And I think Vegas kind of fills that niche a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Kind of being in that area. If they don't want to be fans of the Rockies, the Royals kind of, since they're kind of like on that western edge of Missouri, almost Kansas, they kind of fill that niche a little bit, not as well as they should, but
yeah. So I mean, those are just a few teams that we think. We'll be curious to see what you guys think. And
honorable mention to Charlotte.
Charlotte, not a bad pick. I was thinking North or South Carolina, maybe getting one of those teams.
Charlotte would be the best city for it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they got the NBA team, and I think they don't have a hockey team, right?
No, the Panthers play there though. The Carolina Panthers,
Gotcha.
not the Florida Panthers.
So those are our picks for that. I don't think those are terrible picks, John.
No, yeah, I think we did a good job.
I think those are good.
Yeah. The only thing is Montreal might not be the best option. It's just the one we want the most.
Yeah, I just think they should bring him back just because I like.
We just want the Expos back. That's really what.
That's all we
is.
want. But I think that before we get to the very last thing of the show, are you hungry?
Oh, I'm starving.
I'm starving. Ryan, are you hungry?
I'm starving.
I'm starving too. You know what would
Dude,
sound
starving.
really good right now?
Some Pete abilities.
I think Pete abilities would sound delicious. Right before we get to this Ryan Sumajo, let's shout out our sponsor, Pete Abilities. If you are looking for a fast, casual food, Pete Abilities is the place to go. Located all places. And how's that possible, John?
They're in a truck.
They're in a fucking food truck. They can be located in all the places. They have catering.
They have catering.
They have this app that you can download or this website you can look up,
Mobile
Food
app.
Truck Locator,
Mobile.
and they'll tell you where they're going to be for the day, what times and why, right? So you can definitely find them. They're definitely there. And if you're looking for that little brick and mortar feel, there's a place not too far away, located in Hilliard, Ohio, in Old Hilliard, Ohio, Crooked Can, look them up. They have a little spot in there as well. Pita Abilities has everything you can want when it comes to pita style food. I'm talking gyro, I'm talking chicken with all flavors, barbecue, shawarma, tikka masala, teriyaki, buffalo chicken, anything chicken. Then they also have vegan options. You got your falafel, your french fries, your feta fries, which isn't vegan because it's cheese, but the feta fries go absolutely insane. And if you're looking for a little bit of dessert, they have Cinna chips, dusted coated chocolate syrup, raspberry syrup with whipped cream. It is to die for. But check out our friends at PeteAbilities.com. Figure out where they're at for the day. Get them catered to you or go to them. Whatever fits best for you. Check out PeteAbilities.com. Ryan, are you ready for the 2-minute drill?
Give me 1 second.
1 second? Do you need 2 or 3 seconds?
More than 1 second total combined. I was just using the phrase 1 second.
Oh, I got you. So, John, what do you want to talk about while this 2-minute drill?
Hey, National Golf.
Oh, John, do you golf?
No.
John doesn't golf, but that's a good reason. Why? Because National Road Golf Course off of Route 40, just outside of West Jefferson, Ohio, you can go and play at a course that fits your needs.
Look, I don't normally golf,
But when
I do golf, I do golf a National Road because it makes me feel like an all-star.
yeah, it is not it's no PGA certified tour course. Like it's definitely a casual course. There's no sand traps.
No.
I'm glad of that because I tend to find the sand traps. So I'm glad that there's no sand traps. There's only one water hazard. I can find my ball. Link style course, not a lot of trees, a little bit of grass. I tend to lose them in the grass.
Yeah.
I tend to lose them in the grass.
Yeah, I own real estate in the bunkers. I'm glad there's no bunkers.
Definitely glad there's no bunkers. But make sure you check out our friends at National Road Golf Course. They've got everything. When it's cold out, they've got simulators on the inside.
Let me
When
tell
it's
you about the
raining, simulators are on the inside. When it's snowing, simulators are on the inside. And then anything else that you're looking for, they have your needs. They got a full driving range. Do you ever just like going out there and piping one about 280?
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, can't do that if I'm coming out for work at 5:30. I can't get on for 18. Can't get on for 9. Good thing they have a driving range. So that's the best of both worlds. So shout out our other sponsor, National Road Golf Course. We appreciate you guys. As always, make sure you check them out on their website or just mosey on out there. If you're looking for the boss man, he's about 6'4" and he's a hell of a guy. So just make sure you meet him out there. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for our sponsors. But Ryan, are you ready?
Ready to go.
Let's get it going. Lay it on me, Daddy-O.
All right. And we're going.
Okay.
Pelicans' second round draft pick, Ohio State former player E.J. Liddell suffers a torn ACL in the summer league.
Sad day.
Will he bounce back?
I mean, with medical the way it is, he could come back before the season starts. Season ends. I think he could come back. Will they force it? I don't know.
I think, will he come back? Yeah. Will he be good enough to play? That's a different question.
50-50.
All right. Who do you want to win? Who do you want to win?
Who do we want to win or who do we want to add?
Yes.
I already said Pete, 3-Pete. If I had to pick one other person to maybe sneak in there, give me like a left-handed. Give me a Jazz Chisholm, dude that absolutely just pipes it. Like some guy with some flair, some panache with him. Give me a Jazz.
Give me the rookie Nolan Jones.
Oh God, stop it! Get off of that shit. Knock it off. Go on, Ryan.
All right. Sean Watson is rumored to be getting a 4 to 6 game suspension. Is this too much or too little?
I think it's just right. Give him a little more time to figure out everything. If he's proven innocent, then it's an easy lift. Maybe he's only 4 games in. But if he's proven guilty, then you're like, okay, well, at least it's in the middle of the season now. Then we can extend it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't really have evidence, it's hard to really make a big one. This is just more for show, if anything.
Right.
So,
Steelers are changing the name of their field to what is that?
Arkershi?
Acusure?
Acusure? I think it's
Acusure Stadium. Is this too far?
We don't have any trust or history in the names of anything anymore. The Jake, gone. Heinz Field, gone. Staples Center, gone. It's too far.
The shot.
The Shot, gone.
This is an absolute
Travesty.
travesty. A dark day in America, for sure.
I don't even like the Steelers.
I hate the Steelers.
I hate. Yeah.
You're a Steelers fan. Suck your ass.
We're not making it.
We're not making a 2 minute of a fuck you for that.
Oh, we already went over. Baker gets traded to the Panthers. Predict a record with Baker if he plays.
Oh, Panthers, Christian McCaffrey. That's about the only other thing they got going for them. I'm gonna go 6-11.
They got a decent offensive line, a decent wide receiver core. Obviously, if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, I think they can be decent.
This is better than 6.
We'll go 9 and
7?
9 and 8.
9 and
9
8?
and 8 because they're 17
Oh,
games.
God damn it.
I'll go 9 and 8.
9 and 8. All right. Well, I mean, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's whatever. But
I got one more thing now.
what the hell do you?
I
want
mean,
to
we're
talk
already
to
with
me?
the 2
Talk to
minutes.
me. Yeah. might as well. Might as
We
well.
went on for about like a minute and a half.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
All right. Do you think I think this could solve problems?
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
world problems?
No,
We're not
just like all-star break kind of game problems for NBA, MLB,
Yes.
that kind of stuff. The home run derby, obviously the thing that everybody like loves to watch during the MLB. Besides maybe like the game,
Yeah, I mean the game's kind of a joke, but go on.
and then like 3-point contest and dunk contest.
Yeah.
Dunk contest
fire.
this probably wouldn't work for dunk contest wise, but I think the people they select from or like to play in these things, they literally just go from top of the stats down. Whoever send invites, like do top 5, top 10, then they get invited. If they, choose
Decline.
their option to
Yeah.
decline, just go to the next one online.
I mean,
At that point, you're getting some like random person on a, under 500 team
Who's absolutely raking.
who's like, raking because he's like one of the only good shooters on their team.
Yeah.
And nobody's playing defense against them because they don't have to because they're losing by 30 already.
Yeah.
Like,
Or you have a guy that's on like the Rockies that can hit absolute nukes, but his statistic average and his home run average is equaling. Oh, hey, he should definitely be qualified for the home run derby.
yeah.
right.
I think you would have a better turnout for that scenario if the cash prize was higher. Home run derby, I think, is just $1 million cash prize.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Chunk it,
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's not necessarily like the worst thing. I don't even think the 3-point even has a cash prize
Yeah.
or the dunk contest. I think it's just a
Players
Trump
not-
trophy.
I get
Don't they get a car?
players not wanting to
Oh,
play in
yeah.
like maybe the games because like
Yeah, you get
I mean,
injured.
injury or even like dunk contests, some weird shit. I don't know. Has anyone ever gotten injured in the dunk contest?
Not that I'm
It would have
aware
been
of.
this year because fucking Cole Anthony was dunking in Thames. Terrible idea.
So,
What an idiot.
but like for like 3-point contests and maybe even like the home run derby, like I feel like players should play them. I feel like it'd be fun. Like me as a player, if I was like, let's say I had some golf thing, like
Yeah.
PGA Tour, fucking
Closest to the pin.
like close to the pin or like longest drive, mid-season break or some shit like that. And like if I was like a good player and like yeah, I'm
You wanted to
get
show
a
your
lot of money,
skill. You know?
like fuck yeah, let's go out there with some of my. At the time, I might be buddies with like Roy McIlroy or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That, So you're like, oh yeah, let's go shoot shit, TV, have a good time,
Yeah,
fucking
all the good stuff.
smack some dingers. But like, I don't know, like I feel like that would be.
The only thing with that is that you'd have to like put priority in which stats you think are the most important.
Yeah.
Like I think definitely for the home run derby, like just get the guys with the most home runs.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would
most home runs or total distance.
I don't even care about total distance. Just give me the people who have the most home runs in the season, like the top 8 in the American League, top 8 in the National League, and then do your thing.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see, at least in the home run derby.
Yeah, I don't think those are two bad ideas at all, but I think it just depends on the pool of the prize. Because as soon as you make the prize pool worth valuable or worth getting, then I think people will start going to it. So
see, now what I really want to see though is them use aluminum bats.
No, I see somebody else said that. So you're gonna kill a fucking kid in the first row on a sharp line drive.
Just have everybody behind those new extended nets they made, and then just have them go to town.
Yeah.
Do it at the Field of Dreams game.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Have it in all
Straight in
the
the cornfield.
Yeah.
But I think that wraps up the show.
It does.
I think that wraps up the show. John, you got anything to say to people before we let him go?
I don't.
You don't got anything? Ryan,
Gamble guest appearance.
no, he didn't deserve it this week. He was bad.
Yeah,
Sorry, Gamble, I tried.
He went potty inside. Ryan, you got anything to say to people before we let him go?
Right now, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna maybe not to the people, but I'm gonna try to get you guys in the anime.
Oh God, this fucking guy.
Oh, I'm going to the Cleveland game tomorrow.
Hey, we'll
I
be
went
tapped
to
in. You'll be tapped in.
Went to the Reds game on Sunday. 2 games in 1 week.
Ooh, tapped in though.
Shout out me.
John's tapped in. The only thing I gotta say before I let you guys go, Thor: Love and Thunder, 6 out of 10. That's it. That's all I gotta say. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the important things. Follow us on Twitter, interact with us. We'd like to hear from you guys. We'd like to talk with you guys. Shout out the sponsors as always, National Road Golf Course and Pete Abilities. And I just want you to know we appreciate you. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Staff, it's hard, anime.
That was hard. Sorry. Yeah. Ryan said that's like very American.